ResortLoop.com is proudly sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Indulge in a taste from the South Pacific. Joffrey's new Disney Parks and Resorts blend, Alani, brings the islands to you. Blended with Hawaiian Kona beans and roasted to perfection, Alani is buttery smooth with a tropical sweet aftertaste. Available at Alani or Joffreys.com.
Hey, this is Rebecca, and I'm here with original Super Looper Joe Quattrochi.
What's up, everybody?
And you're listening to
The Resort Loop podcast with Tim and Bob.
Or Bob and Tim.
Or Rebecca and Joe, whichever one.
Bing bong!
Cue Mr. Wagner.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We are now passing through the Transportation and Ticket Center on our way to the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel. If you'd like to return to the Transportation and Ticket Center, you may do so by boarding an express monorail at the Magic Kingdom station.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. This is episode 341, and Bob?
Tim?
The Loopers are ganging up against us.
It always makes me nervous when they get together because, they're going to talk about us.
You know it.
I'm a little self-conscious. What are they saying?
I don't know. I'm sensitive. I worry.
And especially Rebecca and Joe. You get those two together and...
Oh, my goodness.
That's part of our DVC Roundtable crew getting together down at Disney.
The blogging team, yeah. Them too.
Out at the blogging team, yeah. So very excited. Thank you guys for sending that to us. That was awesome. And, we're bringing people together.
That's one of the reasons we started the show, which is actually very exciting.
It is very exciting.
I love getting pictures of people down there together who met through the show.
Yeah.
And I will say, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if anybody else wants to send an open to the show, area code 414.
WDW.
Loop.
They want to meet us. Did you hear that?
Oh, my goodness.
That's the rumor floating around the internets.
People want to meet us?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
You especially.
Oh, no one wants to do that. They think they do, Bob. You've met me. There's really nothing there.
You're No. You're the guy.
Oh, my goodness.
You're the guy. What was that? Analyze this. You're the man. Anyway, hey, Tim, I got a little housekeeping to do before we start the show.
All right.
Good pal of the show and Super Looper unto herself. Dee Dee Herring says, this was episode 339. She said, Maelstrom opened in 1988, not 1989.
Oh.
And, you know what? She was right about that. And she called me out.
Well,
my mouth was talking when my brain should have been. And I had it written down.
I know. I think we've both been guilty of that, though.
1988.
Maybe you're thinking of Taylor Swift.
No, I wasn't. 1998, actually, because in the show I said it was a bad year for me. 1988 was a bad year for me. 98, fantastic.
Okay. I'm glad you cleared that up.
Fantastic, yeah. Because, man, my wife started giving me dirty looks like, what?
Oh, my.
Anyway, so Dee Dee, thank you so much for calling me out on this day in Disney history. So
thanks, Dee Dee.
And Tim...
Yes.
I have two this days in Disney history, my friend.
Oh, I love the this day, or this days in this case.
What happened in 1895?
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Richard Buckminster Fuller was born in Milton, Massachusetts, everybody.
Is he the one who came out with Fuller House? Wow.
You may have. He was a visionary designer, architect, futurist, and inventor. He invented, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The geodesic dome.
Ooh.
And actually coined the phrase...
Golf ball?
Giant golf ball, no. Spaceship Earth.
How cool.
To express the concern over the use of limited resources available on our planet. So how about that? Goes all the way back to 1895 when people were still riding on horses and buggies and such.
That is awesome.
How about that? Nobody cares, do they?
They're
all going, Really? That's your this day in Disney history?
And that's why you
got
have
another
two.
one.
That's why there's two.
What? So that's why there's two. So the other one, this one ties into our great running team, the Rocketeers. 1945, Jeff Galloway, a former American Olympian and the author of Galloway's book on running, is born in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Ooh.
Jeff Galloway, he's run in every Disney marathon since they began in 1994. And, of course, everybody knows Jeff Galloway and all his great tips on running and running safe. So
Exactly. The Galloway method, the run, walk, run.
Absolutely. And our coaches over there, our captains, rather, they talk a lot about the Jeff Galloway methods of running over on our Rocketeers running team on Facebook.
You can find it right over there.
Check that out. See how I tied that all together.
Nice little bow.
What do you got over there?
I have a couple of reviews I need to read over on iTunes.
All right.
Fell a little behind on this. This is from T. Bling. He goes, "Hey, Bob and Tim and Bob, love the show. I look forward to listening every week. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to. Love the outtakes at the end. Thanks for a great podcast." Now I feel like there's pressure to mess up somewhere so you can put it at the end.
Well, usually it's just when you read the wrong, show number, but not this time.
Right. And
We
then-
got nothing. We're flawless now. Sorry, T. But we are flawless.
They listen enough. They know it's just a matter of time. And we have one more review I want to read here from GB Pack 98. "Hey, Tim and Bob, or Bob and Tim." Now we have 4 names. "I just wanted you to say your podcast is great. I started listening to you guys in late April because we went to Disney in early May. I must have downloaded 40 of your podcasts and listened to them every day before we left."
Wow, that's scary. That's scary.
That's scary and flattering at the same time. "You definitely helped us on our trip. I had to take a few weeks off from listening since we went through that Disney depression right after we get back." And then they said they just found out a promotion from their company, so they may be moving to Tampa.
Oh, wow.
That means they'll probably be getting Disney annual passes. Any information we have on that would be great. Thanks, guys, and keep up the great work. I would say get it.
Absolutely. My goodness, that's awesome. Going to be right down the street from our good pals and sponsors of the show, Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company.
That's a win-win there.
Which, by the way, I'm enjoying their Valor blend again.
Ooh.
I really like that. It's a really bold, strong coffee that it's not bitter. There's no bitterness, even after you've had a lot of it, which I've had today.
You got up early today.
A little bit. I've been up for a little while. So, but if you're going to book a trip to Disney,
as I will tend to do,
who would you book a trip to Disney with? Because you don't want to do all this work on your own.
No, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of things to keep track of. A lot of things to stay up to date on.
A lot of stress.
A lot of things to keep your eye on after you've even booked.
Absolutely. You got other things you got to worry about, like how you're going to get those, bottles of liquids through TSA and all that nonsense.
Those little 3-ounce bottles.
Yeah. So what if let's say you're veterans like us and you just want to take that stress away, Tim? What would you do?
I would go to the interwebs.
The interweb?
Interwebs.
What?
I would go to People Mover Travel, and I would contact our good friend Tyler.
If only we could talk to him.
If only he was somewhere around.
Hi, guys.
Wow.
That was
It's
fast.
just like magic.
He's way too young to know Wayne's World. That's so wrong.
That was the first sound that came to my mind. I was like, what can I do?
Oh, Tyler, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Got some exciting new stuff coming down the pike from Disney for 2017, don't we?
Oh, yeah. They announced their new rates for next year back in late June, and there's a lot of changes coming up, which I personally think are great changes that needed to be done. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think 2017 is going to be an awesome year for Disney.
Excellent. And you just got back from a 2-week vacation at Walt Disney World. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we were lucky enough. My wife's a teacher, and I work from home, so we were able to take the summer and have a little bit of time in Disney. So yeah, we were there for I think 13 days. The first half we were at the Grand Floridian, which we took her parents, and they had never been, which is crazy because we go all the time.
Wow.
They had never been, and so it was so cool to watch them go for the first time. They were like little kids.
How did Jessica then become such a huge fan of Disney if she had never been there?
Well, she went once before she met me, and then when I first met her, I was a huge Disney fan, and so like one of our first dates, I said, "Hey, let's go to Disney," and so we went down for a couple of days. That's a true story, but we went down for a couple of days, and she was just as much in love as I was, and we ever since then have gone at least once a year, most of the time at least twice a year.
Excellent.
Yeah, but she just fell in love that first time, just like I did.
Oh,
How
that's
could you
incredible.
not?
Oh,
Right, exactly. It's amazing how many people are naysayers. I have clients contact me all the time. We're like, "Oh, we're trying to convince my father-in-law to go with us. He doesn't want to go. Blah 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 blah." And then they go and they say, "Oh my gosh, he had the best time. He's ready to go back." It really is amazing. It surprises a lot of people who are not Disney people. It's like we've talked about before. People that are not Disney people don't get it unless they've gone.
Right. But see, and that's the beauty of going through you at peoplemovertravel.com is if someone has a spouse or a parent or something that isn't a Disney fan, you're able to tailor, because of all of your experience going as much as you've gone and all of your the background that you have becoming a travel agent and all, you're able to tailor a trip that isn't going to underwhelm or overwhelm a non-Disney person, correct?
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the great things about Disney is there's so many options. It doesn't really matter what you're into. Disney has something that you're going to love. If you don't like Disney but you're a sports guy, they've got golf, they've got the ESPN Wide World of Sports. We can tailor it, to your exact likes. And it's amazing how Disney has something literally for everyone.
Right, and you can book all of that stuff. You can book the extra tours and the golf packages and all of that stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And for those that have a little bit older kids, there's Universal down the street. Not that Disney doesn't have thrill rides, but Universal does have even more. So spend a day over at Universal. There's so much to do in Orlando. It's the tourist capital of the United States. There's literally within a couple miles and a half an hour drive. There's something for everyone.
Right, and that's important to note too, because what you're doing is you're not just a Disney travel agent. You can, if somebody wants to stay off property at a resort where they can go to SeaWorld, they can go to Wet n Wild, they can go to Universal and Disney, you can handle that. It's not like, oh well, People Mover Travel, you guys are just stuck at Disney. You can cover it all.
Oh, absolutely. And not even just Orlando. I've got people going all over the world. Anywhere you want to go, I've got people, going elsewhere in Florida. I've got people going to Italy. I've got people going to Brazil. I've got people going all over the world. So it's, Disney is definitely my passion, but it's a huge world out there. There's a lot to see. So if maybe you want to go on an Alaskan cruise. You've never been to Alaska. You don't even know where to start. I can help you there too. I can help you with whatever you want to do.
Tyler, I love the fact that you'll contact and talk with people however they want. You'll do it by email. You'll do it by Skype. You'll do it over the phone. Whatever's best for them.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger, anything that I can, any way to get in contact, that will make it work. I have people that I text back and forth. It's a lot of texting, but
right.
But we do it.
So what's some of the new things that you noticed when you were down for your almost fortnight vacation?
Right. Well, it's amazing because, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go to Disney right now. I want to wait because there's, stuff, the new Avatar, Pandora, that's coming next year. I'll just wait. But the reality is there's so much going on right now. It's the rest of this year. There's the huge thing is the new Frozen ride, which if you want to, spoiler alert, if you want, you can go to my YouTube channel. I've got the whole video uploaded. But if not, if you want to go actually to Disney and see it in person for the first time, I know a guy who can book that for you as well. But it's amazing. In the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, for those that have seen it, they have those faces that are what I want to say, they're like computer animated faces that look so much more real than the audio animatronics.
Oh, the projections, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing in the new Frozen ride. And it's interesting to me because people I was reading online were like, oh, well, that's just lazy of Disney, to do this instead of actually... But in my opinion, they're so cool. It's amazing how lifelike these new audio animatronics are, and I personally hope they do a lot more of them. There's one point in the new Frozen ride, back in Maelstrom, when you used to turn around and go backwards. At that point in the new ride, you're now seeing Elsa in front of you, and you hear "Let It Go," and the audio animatronic they have, the way her arms move, the way just the face looks, it is incredible. It looks like she's standing right in front of you more than any audio animatronic I've ever seen in my life. It is so cool.
Wow.
And another cool thing about that ride, and I don't know how they do it, and it could be that we were just on a lucky boat, but the way they have it, the music and everything is timed perfectly. Because on a lot of rides you go through and the music's sort of on a loop. So, on Pirates, it's, just kind of looping over and over again. And, you'll catch it at different points. I swear this one, every part that you hit, the music was exactly on. And it's hard to explain, but like the way the boat would move and then start to go backwards was right as the music swelled, and you felt it was just the coolest thing. And there's one point where fog comes out, and it was right at the perfect moment in the song where the boat was, where the fog came out. So it's timed impeccably. And like I said, I don't think it's that we just were on a lucky boat that everything worked out perfectly, but just those little things that Disney takes into account. It's amazing, this new ride. I went in because I was a big Maelstrom fan, and I went in expecting, it's going to be cool. It blew me out of the water. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, bring Maelstrom back. Ride this ride first and then talk, because it is so cool.
What was your wait time?
That's actually a funny story. So because I'm a Disney travel agent, I knew the day that the fast passes were coming out, and so I got on that morning and I made fast passes. And so we had where to start. So had we just gotten right on, it probably wouldn't have taken 15 minutes. But the problem was we were there 2 days after it opened, and there was several stops and starts. So the ride, it broke down a couple times. And so as we're sitting there waiting, which happens, on any ride, even, the older rides break down. That's just kind of what happens. And they basically said, if you want to get out of line, we'll give you a fast pass for later, or you can just wait here. And so we decided, we just kind of went into Epcot for the day. And so we decided to wait. And they came around with bottles of water and bags of chips and Rice Krispie treats and all these things, while we're sitting there waiting. It was amazing. I'm like, only Disney would think to go through the line and give everybody a snack and some water while they're waiting. I just thought that was so cool. So all in all, we waited about an hour and a half, but had the ride not broken down, we would have been on in probably 15 minutes. Wow. But the standby line, on the other hand, was 300 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, you've seen those pictures online. Those are not lying. It was a long wait for those who did the standby line.
So, see, yet another reason to book with peoplemovertravel.com. He knows when this stuff is going to happen and might be able to get you, a 15-minute wait as opposed to a 300-minute wait.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, exactly.
That
same, I got the Frozen ride, and I got the new Sauron for a few people that were already going. So because I knew that that's the day that they were coming out, I was up at 7 o'clock in the morning making fast passes. So that's the way you got to do it for those new rides.
And unless you're guys like Tim and I that have already put in a full day at 7:30 in the morning,
exactly.
You don't want to get up at 7:30 in the morning. Let Tyler do it for you. What was? Tell me about Disney Springs. I'm really anxious to hear your impressions of Disney Springs.
It's interesting because we went to Universal, and this was the first time we had been to Universal. We went for the day on this trip, and as we're looking around, we Jessica and my wife and I, we were there, and we're looking around going, they've really done an amazing job, in this area. And I feel like Disney Springs is an answer to their City Walk there in Universal,
Mm-hmm.
but Disney's upped the ante even more, which is great because, when theme parks fight against each other, we're the ultimate winner because they just keep getting better and better. But the new Disney Springs is unbelievable. It's beautiful. There's areas where it's kind of got this like Spanish architecture almost. There's fountains. It's beautiful. Now I will say my only gripe is I'm not a millionaire, and a lot of the stuff is very high end stuff. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is fun to go and shop and look around. There's still lots to do there. There's, Splitsville. We did that. That was so fun. And I mean, for the two of us, I think it ended up being $50 to play and get drinks and stuff. So it really is not bad. And the way it was cool because Splitsville does it by the hour. So we were able to get 3 games in because we rented the lane for an hour. You don't pay per game.
Right.
You paid. So if we had gone even faster, we might have even gotten more in. We were terrible. I don't think either broke 50, but it was still fun. So they've got things, for families that you can do, but they also do have that high-end stuff. But from an architecture standpoint alone, looking around, it is beautiful. They've done an amazing job. And there are areas now that have there are large areas of stores that are now covered, which was nice because when it rains, you don't want to be out in the rain, and everybody tends to run into the shops, which means the shops are really full. But this is a big kind of open area that has there's bench seating and nice plants and fountains and stuff that makes it, while it's raining, a little bit nice to sit inside. But I really like the new Disney Springs. Even the old stores that are still staying there, like the Disney, the Mega Store. What's that called? The World of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They've even redone the outside of that to make it look more cohesive with the rest of the area. So it's really cool, even if you've been to see. Like I said, just go and look around. It really is cool what they're doing. I'm very excited to see it when it's done.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Tyler, how easy was it to get to Disney Springs? Did you drive?
No, we didn't drive. We took the transportation there, and it was no problem at all. We went a couple times actually, and we hopped on the bus. We were there from the Polynesian, maybe 15-20 minutes. It really wasn't too bad.
Wow, yeah, it's fast.
And they've got a new bus area where you load, which is funny because we went to the old spot and we're looking around going, I don't think there's any buses coming. They've got this new area, and it's really nice. They've got these just the standard bus loading areas, but they're brand new. They look really nice. They've got bathrooms right next to it. So if you're standing there waiting for your bus, you need to use the restroom, you can go over there. But
where are those located?
It's in sort of the new area. There's a Zara or Spara, something, I don't know, some department store that Jessica really was excited about. And it's right across the street from that.
Sephora.
No, not Sephora. It's close to Sephora as well, though. I do know that. My wife's a beauty YouTuber, and so if I didn't know that, I'd be in trouble. But no, it's right in that same area. There's a couple different makeup stores right there. It's close to that new enclosed area that I was just talking about.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, Disney's making it very easy to get to Disney Springs. Those parking decks are fantastic.
Oh, I know. I went over and looked at them. They're amazing. Because that was one of the hardest parts about going to downtown Disney was finding parking in that area. But it's so cool now.
I mean, even the parking spots you might think are far away from where you're going really aren't. So just follow the arrows, get to this parking spot, and you walk over to the one side and take an escalator and elevator down, and bam, you're right there.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm so excited to see it when it's done because it already is so cool. Just the new style of everything. It's so modern, but kind of like steampunk almost. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not an architect person, but it's beautiful. That's all I know. It really is a cool area.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to add, for those thinking of driving over, all that congestion that was out there on the roads going over to Disney Springs, they've added those great center bus lanes now, so the buses aren't competing for the same lines as the cars.
Oh, that's huge.
So everything is much quicker driving back and forth.
Yeah.
So just want to let everybody know, don't be afraid to drive over there at this point.
Absolutely.
Very good. What else did you notice that was new, Tyler?
Well, the new Sauron came out while we were there as well, and that is so cool. I loved the old Sauron, but this new update is out of this world. It's so cool. And again, I've got a video of that. I'll put it up online, for people who don't mind spoilers, but it's the same music as the last time, which is cool because I loved that soundtrack to that. I listen to it all the time. And you can find that on like iTunes and stuff. Download it. It is such a beautiful score for that Sauron show. But the new one goes to all these different places all over the world because the old one was Sauron over California. This is the new Sauron over the world. It is so cool because you go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, you get to see the Taj Mahal. There are elephants in Africa. It's so cool. And actually, even before you go into the show, where Patrick Warburton's up on the screen talking about take off your hat and stuff. the new screensaver, essentially before he starts talking, shows you all the places you're going to see on the map, which is really cool. It flies, from place to place where you're going to fly over. But it was really cool. There was a couple spots that were interesting, and I thought that almost looks like it was CGI'd. And I don't know if it was just so unbelievably beautiful that it was CG, I just couldn't believe it, or if it actually was CGI'd. But there were a couple spots when I thought that almost looks computer animated. But then there, like the Great Wall of China and stuff, which is so cool. And supposedly that where they filmed the Great Wall of China is the same spot where they filmed it for the Circle Vision thing over in the China Pavilion.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool. Like a little hidden Easter egg. I haven't done any research, but that's what I heard. So that's kind of cool, little hidden Easter eggs like that. But you end in the same, in the fireworks and everything. It's very neat. And, as a travel agent, I love to travel, not only to Disney, but all over the world. And it's a cool way to see everything from above. It was well worth the wait on that one as well.
Very good. And you can book fast passes for that for folks as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Fast passes, dining reservations, and all that stuff.
Excellent. What else?
I think we need to mention real quick, just because you might book something doesn't mean it can't be changed later also.
Absolutely. Generally, as long as it's not paid in full and you're 30 days out, then generally I can take over that, provided that Disney approves it. But at that point, even if you've booked it, I can take over it, and from that point on, do all your dining reservations, all your fast pass reservations, everything like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if somebody's already booked their vacation, but it's becoming, stressful for them having to keep up to date on everything, they can transfer that booking to you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And what I do is, when I book a reservation, I make it pretty easy. I say, I send you your confirmation, and then I send you a list of dates. I say, here's 180 days out, here's 90 days out, here's what we're going to do at each of these times. And I'm in contact with people generally 3 days before that. So I say, in 3 days, we can start booking dining reservations. Let's talk about it. So they'll give me a list of places they want to go and maybe the dates they want to go. And then I'll get up that morning, and that's the first thing I'll do the day they're available. So they don't even have to worry about it. Then I'll send them a confirmation, say, hey, Cinderella's Royal Table, be our guest. All the hard ones, they're booked, done, ready to go. And, they're at work. They don't even have to think about it.
That's fantastic.
That is nice.
Oh, that is fantastic. I'm going to go through you the next time I book a vacation, because it becomes just too stressful after a while, because you're constantly on the phone. You're taking time away from your family trying to do this stuff. One quick email to you over at peoplemovertravel.com, and you got it handled for everybody. So,
yep, exactly.
That is awesome. What's going on for 2017? You got some new stuff happening in 2017.
Yeah, so a couple new things. So one of the big things is those premium and platinum packages that cost about $1 million a person. Those are no longer happening. Those are discontinued. I know. That's what we do every time we go.
I was just getting ready to book that. Darn it!
Bummer.
Yeah, no. Those. If you've got the money, they're a pretty crazy deal. But that's. Right. You'd have to stay for a month to make it worth it. There's so much to do. I mean, it's unbelievable. So those are no longer happening. So that shouldn't affect too many people. But what might affect people is the new dining plan thing. So there's both with the Disney's quick service dining plan and the Disney dining plan, which are the first two. Both of those plans now are including 2 snacks. They've up until now included 1 snack, but the difference is quick service meals will no longer come with a dessert. So you used to go to a quick service restaurant, you get an entree, maybe a side, a drink, and a dessert. But as of 2017, they're no longer giving a dessert, which honestly is fine with me. We've done that. We've done both the quick service and the dining plan, and it really is a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And, if you after you eat lunch, you're like, I want a sweet treat. You can still go get a Mickey bar. You can still go get, a frozen banana or whatever as that sweet treat. But I would personally rather have 2 snacks than have a dessert with your quick service.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
for me,
agree with that.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was a great change. And the same thing with the deluxe dining plan. Same thing. So the quick service meals, whenever you do those, it won't have the dessert, but you'll get your extra snack, which you already got 2 snacks with the deluxe. So that's a big thing with the new dining plan, which I personally think is a very welcome change. Those are the real big things that are changing next year. There's little small things, but not too much. The good news is, like I said, as of June 21st, Disney released their new rates for 2017. There was a lot of people who contacted me and said, "Hey, we're looking to going October 2017," but Disney hadn't released their rates yet. So, fear not if I haven't contacted you yet. I'm working through the list and I'm contacting everybody that wanted to do those 2017 rates. Just to keep in mind for everybody, so you can't book more than 499 days in advance, which is quite a ways away.
Yeah.
So as of today, when we're recording this show, that's November 19th of 2017. So if you're still going after that, I might be a little bit, if you want to go December of 2017, I might contact you a little bit later. But if you've contacted me and I said, I will contact you once Disney releases their 2017 rates, I'm getting to you. Don't worry.
Excellent. What you got? Any codes that are out right now? What are the discounts that are out right now?
Well, they've got there's still a limited number of the free dining plans. Those sell out really fast. So they've got some all the way into December at certain dates. But a lot of the things that are left there are the more expensive hotels, the boardwalks, things like that. So those Pop Century All-Star rates with the free dining, those are pretty much all gone. Now, if your dates are flexible, we might be able to, find something for you. But, if you're doing the free dining, it can maybe worth it, doing the deluxe. But as far as the value resorts, those are pretty much all sold out with the free dining. There are still the Awaken Summer deals for a little while longer. This fall, they have a back-to-school deal as well, and that can save you up to 30% on your rooms as well. Now, with the 2017 rates, like I said, they've announced the 2017 rates, and I can go ahead and book those, and I've got a lot of people that are already starting to book, but the thing is, they haven't released any special offers. But the good news is, if we book you now, you have a lot bigger chance of getting exactly what you want. So if you want that certain room at Port Orleans Riverside that sells out really fast, we can get you that right now. And if Disney releases special offers later on for your trip, I can go in and actually change your reservation and save you that money later on if your reservation qualifies for that. So even if you book now, you'll get exactly what you want. But if Disney releases those special offers later on, I can retroactively make that, for your reservation.
See, I think that's huge because a lot of people don't realize, they book on their own and then it's out of their mind. So then a discount might come out, but they might not catch on to it till, a couple weeks after it was released. And by then, that might be gone.
Exactly.
Right.
And, I've got every time I make a reservation, I've got it in my calendar, and I've got all the Disney special rates in my calendar as well. So as soon as they announce that new rate, that special offer for spring or, whatever it is, I can hop in and see, okay, I've got this person going during that time. They fit into this time frame and into this, because Disney, it's got to be this resort, this room type, this so on and so forth. And boom, I can call in that day, get, anybody whose reservation will work with that new discount, I can make that discount happen. Contact you and say, hey, I just saved you $75. I just saved you a couple $100, so on and so forth.
Awesome.
And the best part of this, really, folks, the best part is, and this is for real, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not going to, Disney is not bumping up the rate because you're going through peoplemovertravel.com. It's going to be the same rate as if you did all of this painstaking work yourself, but you don't have to do it yourself. You can have Tyler over at People Mover Travel do it for you, and it's going to cost you the same. And actually, like Tyler just got done saying, it's probably going to end up saving you money because he knows where the discounts are. He knows how to get you to fast passes without you having to sit there and watch that clock, watch that calendar, and go, okay, we're 180 days out. I got to get this reservation. I got to get this fast pass. I got to get whatever. And it costs you absolutely nothing and takes all that stress and anxiety for that vacation away from you.
Yeah. Oh, and as somebody who's been late to work before because they were trying to get dining reservations, most employers don't tend to understand. You're like, oh, yeah. I had to get BR guest, guys. I don't know how else to tell you this. I had to get BR guest. That's why I'm late.
Exactly.
Trust me, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is a huge deal. And trust me when I tell you, because I tried, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, I struggle getting Ohana reservations. I don't know if anybody knows that.
What?
I tried. The last time I was down there, this was before Florence was able to tie me into her reservation. I tried. I woke up on that 180 days out, and I woke up and I started, making that call to try and get that Ohana reservation. I'm not kidding you. I got online 5 minutes after 7 a.m., and it was already gone.
Yep.
And I said, how is that possible?
It's
guys like you, mister.
They sell out so fast. It really is amazing. But, the thing is, I also will keep trying. So if we don't get that reservation right off the top, which has happened, for instance, this last time when we wanted to go to Cinderella's Royal Table. That was the one thing Jessica's dad wanted to do, was go to Cinderella's Royal Table. So I said, all right, I will make it happen. We're 4 weeks out, but I will make it happen. And so I called every day. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks out that they finally said, hey, something opened up for 4 people. So, just because they say, it's not available doesn't mean it won't become available. And I can call every day and try and get that reservation until it pops up, because it does happen.
There you go. So,
awesome.
Tyler's got a lot more hair than you or I do, Tim. Well, let him pull his hair out.
Exactly. It's his turn now.
I don't know. I'm starting to gray at the temples. I don't know what that's about.
Welcome to married life. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm getting dirty looks, too. Anyway, so tell us about what's this deal with a live broadcast from Disney?
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of a cool thing for those who are going through that Disney withdrawal, or they don't, even if you have a Disney trip on the horizon, it's always nice to get that little bit of dose of Disney in your life. So the Disney Parks blog is now doing a lot of live broadcasts. They did something on July 4th, I believe it was the Castle Show. But just so people know, there's 3 different broadcasts that are happening coming up soon on the Disney Parks blog. The new Castle Show, which that's another new thing we didn't even get into. But the new Castle Show, Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, is being live broadcasted on July 11th at 4:10 p.m. And that's Jessica and I watched that a couple times. It is so cool. We love the Castle Show that was there, but again, Disney's stepping up their game. I really like this new show, and it's a lot of the newer princesses. It's Tiana. It's of course the Frozen girls. They're kind of a big deal right now. But I think they did an awesome job on it. I really think it's really cool. So if you want to catch that, that's July 11th. The new Star Wars Galactic Spectacular is being shown on July 18th. And in Disneyland, the Paint the Night Parade is going to be shown on July 25th. So for you Disney people out there who haven't seen that yet, be sure and catch those, because I've seen the 2 things at Walt Disney World, and they are so cool. So I really suggest everybody hop on and get their Disney fix for the day on those days.
Do you know how long those special shows are going to, not the broadcasts themselves, but the shows at the parks, do you know how long those are going to run?
I don't actually.
At least through summer, I'm sure.
Yeah. The last Castle Show lasted a couple years, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But I'm interested to see about the Star Wars, because there's so much new Star Wars stuff coming out. I don't know if they'll keep that on top of their other Disney stuff at Hollywood Studios, or if they're going to replace it with something else. So I'm not exactly sure. But get them while the getting's good, because you never know. They could come out one day and say, hey, this Friday is our last day with this Star Wars Galactic Spectacular. So Disney likes to do that every once in a while.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Remember the Osborne Lights.
Well, and they had that new show coming out at Animal Kingdom, but that's been delayed. The new Rivers of Light show. So they have this Jungle Book, Alive with Magic. Again, I've got a video of that on my YouTube channel if you guys want to check that out. But it's even just that temporary show, and they kind of went into it knowing it was going to be temporary. It's so cool. A lot of people actually didn't like it, but I loved it. I thought it was so well done. And I'm thinking, gosh, if this is just a temporary show, I can't wait to see what they do with the Rivers of Light show. So they've built a whole new amphitheater there. And like I was saying, there's so much new stuff that's going on at Disney this year. It's amazing.
Well, this is the time to go, and it's certainly the time to book through peoplemovertravel.com. Tyler can take care of all of your needs, guys. I know we keep saying this over and over again, but
Absolutely
it is just so much easier letting Tyler and the folks over at People Mover Travel take care of all of your needs, where you can just relax and think of all the wonderful, fun things you can do. Now, listen, real quick, if I say, hey, in the middle, after I've booked everything, and I say, I'd really like to, go on a fishing excursion, let's say, or go golfing or whatever, I can contact you anytime up to my trip, and you can handle that for me, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whether it's a reservation at some restaurant that you want to go to, or whether it's a golf, or whether it's the Sammy Duvall's water sports, or any of that stuff. They have these new dessert parties for the fireworks viewing, and those are pretty cool too. I've heard. I can book any of that stuff. The Halloween party, the Mickey's Not So Scary, the Christmas party coming out, any of that stuff.
That's excellent, Tim.
Yes.
That's all I've got for Tyler and the folks over at peoplemovertravel.com.
Wow, a lot of great information from you, Tyler. Thank you very much.
Oh, it was my pleasure, guys.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Twitter at ResortLoopTim, on Facebook as Tim Scott, and the website, ResortLoop.com.
I'm Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, rate us on iTunes. What else should people do, Tim?
Absolutely share the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody. With 4 theme parks, 25 resort hotels, hundreds of dining and shopping locations, and seemingly innumerable special events and ticket options, planning a trip to Walt Disney World can seem overwhelming. That's why the ResortLoop.com podcast has teamed up with People Mover Travel to help you get the most magic out of your Disney vacation. People Mover Travel will walk you through every aspect of your next Disney trip, from ensuring you get the best discounts to FastPass Plus and dining reservations and so many other things. Best of all, there is no fee for their service. That's right, you get your very own expert Disney vacation planner at no cost to you. For more information and to request a free, no-obligation quote, visit peoplemovertravel.com.
Thank you, Tyler. How about that?
Oh yeah, I didn't talk for 2 hours. That's a first.
Do we want to give everybody a teaser that there's some special stuff coming for the ResortLoop.com community and People Mover Travel? That there might be a meetup down the road.
Absolutely, I'm definitely game for that. If you guys are,
I'm game. Are we going to talk about it? Mention it?
No, we just did.
Oh, is this one of those things we put at the end of the show?
I think so.
Oh,
this would be called an outtake.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that?
Well, there you go.
Only for those people who stay till the very end.
Till the very end. After the People Mover commercial.
Right.
They get to hear this stuff. It's like Marvel.
It's like a bonus.
Teaser for the next movie.
I would like to try some shawarma.
I was going to say, I need to heat up my shawarma.
All right. Go out and play.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Is this still an outtake?
It's a long outtake.
It's a long outtake.